Welcome back, people. It's another episode of Sports and Superheroes. I'm your host Gershon. I'm here with my co-host my co-host Marcus. Marcus, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? Glad to be here this evening.
Marcus, why you take so long? You took so long to say
No,
anything.
no, I said something. And I think it just took a couple of seconds to caught the go on your end. Like
Before
a newscast. You say something,
yeah,
and then
internet.
it's like a few seconds.
Inter-
No, I said something right away. I, I promise you.
okay, okay. So, guys, yes, we are late on this one. We had kind of a full week and weekend. We did a lot of things, so this episode is coming out a little later than we wanted to. But usually, we're going to try to have them out Wednesday or Thursday. But yeah, we get a Friday episode, so enjoy that. Marcus, we actually went to a basketball game last
Yes.
Sunday. We who do we go see again? I
Milwaukee
forgot who we
Bucks
watched.
and the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah,
Yo,
it was not a bad game. Um, I didn't get to see John. John Morant was hurt, so he didn't play, or he was resting, or one of the things. So he didn't
he
play.
was
So that
he
kind of
was
sucked.
hurt, but he played the very next night, which I'm not gonna lie, I
That's
felt some kind of way because the next night I was watching them play San Antonio. I really felt some type of way about that. But
yeah.
I,
I would
I
have liked to see them play.
I mean I will say I've been looking up. I've seen John Morant play in person before, and that was fun. But I wish I could have saw him again. So
Yeah, that would have been cool. I had my son there, so I forget how big of a sports fan my son is. He was cheering, he was screaming. I was like, "Calm down!" Like I'm a sports fan of playing sports, not so much watching professional sports per se. So I rather just play it than watch it. He loves to watch it, and especially in person. He was super geek. He loved Giannis. He has a whole bunch of Giannis shoes. So he was having the ball. So that was cool. That's one of the things we did this weekend that kept us busy. But yeah, we're here to do another episode of the podcast, bringing sports and superheroes together. We dropped some news on you, and it's been a lot of stuff going on in the superhero world and in the sports world. So this might be a bigger episode too, guys. But before we get into it, you know what we would love y'all to do. Go hit all those subscribe, follow buttons on all our social medias. Links are in the bio. Follow our pages, TikTok, all that good stuff. And let us know you following by dropping a little comment. Let us know. Appreciate that. But we just gonna jump right into it because we got a lot of stuff to cover. A lot of stuff. So without further
lots.
ado, we're gonna kick it off with Anthony Mackie. Yes, Anthony Mackie, Captain America himself, out doing promotion for his movie that's coming out this weekend. Actually, is it come out this weekend? No, it comes out
Uh,
next weekend. It comes out next weekend. Next weekend because it's the 14th. It's Valentine's
oh
Day.
yeah, that's yep.
So it comes out next weekend. So He was in Europe doing promotions for it, talking to interviewers, and he said that yes, I know Captain America is Captain America. He said he's much more than Captain America. He's more than America, and he's talking about how he's a loyal. He's loyal. He fights for what's right. He's trustworthy. All these positive things that a person can be, and he felt America wasn't something that should have been slated into it. And of course, everybody got up in arms talking about something. You're from America. Why are you saying that? You shouldn't be saying that. And he's getting all this backlash, like you don't know what Captain America stands for and all this stuff. Here's the funny thing: Chris Evans, who played Captain America before him, said almost the exact same thing the first Captain America movie. He really emphasized that Captain America was more than just America and actually said his name should be changed from Captain America to Captain Good Guy. He said almost the exact same thing, talking about how Cap is loyal. He fights for his friends. He's a positive influence. He's a good person, a kind person, a brave person, saying all qualities everybody could have, but not slight on the how Captain American part of it, the whole American part, because he actually went a little deeper into it and said this character was made during the war where we had a enemy we wanted to focus on, and we used propaganda to help us focus on that enemy by naming him Captain America, which he was born from. That's one of the way they sold the war at the time to younger people too. So he wasn't really big on the Captain America either. He didn't get that much backlash when he said that in, I think, 2011. He said this, but Anthony Mackie said it in 2025, which we're in a different climate. Some reason, you know why, but he's getting a lot of backlash. And unfortunately, he had to not apologize for what he said, try to clear up what he said.
Come on.
He did. I think Marvel made him put out a press release, and he was like, I'm a proud American. I love the troops, which I don't even know why he said he loved the troops, because that had nothing to do with what he said. But he's like, I love the troops. I support the troops. I thank them for fighting for our freedoms, and America first, blah, blah, this. And I'm like, I wish he wouldn't have did it, but I understand why he did it, because he's trying to save the movie, but he's also trying to sell a movie to non-Americans and trying to get them to understand why his Captain America is just like the other Captain America and kind of relate to them. He's trying to sell a Captain America movie to Europeans. What do you expect him to say? He didn't say down with America. He just said, hey, this guy is brave and trustworthy and all these things that you could be too. Yeah, he's from America, but you can still be these things. Like, he got a lot of backlash for it. But I've been looking at like the trailer and like the comments on the trailer. People are talking about how they're not going to go see it now because he's anti-America. And I was like, yeah, that's the bull. It's the bull. Come on, man. It's wild. It's wild. But it's also something, if you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show, he said the same thing in that show. He said it in the show. He was like being like the whole issue of him being black and Captain America is he's dealing with a place that hates him for his skin, but he loves because of the freedom he has in it, and he wants to protect it, but he feels like pulled in different directions trying to hold up the shield and be a black man too. So it was a whole double entendre things in it and metaphors and oversight that people couldn't see. But he said this same kind of thing in that movie, in that show, and it's not clicking. It's not clicking. So what do you think? What do you think?
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Because keep the same energy. You can have the same energy when Chris Evans said it. Like, come on, he said that exact same thing.
Thank you.
Keep that same energy. But we know why it's an uproar, which I'm not gonna get into. Yeah. We already know. And he said this same thing in the TV show, and there was no uproar. And I believe that because in the TV show, it went over people's heads because they were watching the TV show, and they're watching it, but their brain's not on. But then when you say it in an interview where you're solely focused on what he's saying, now it's a problem.
Yeah,
I don't like it one bit. I don't like it at all.
I'm very upset about it. I mean, I know this is another thing that's going to hurt the movie and not let it perform as good as it should. Besides, we already have a Captain America that is African American, and that I get it. The mantle has been passed on to another character that was already going against him himself. People saying that Anthony Mackie isn't a leading man, that he doesn't have that charisma to do that, which he does. I don't understand why they're saying that. He's been in many movies. He held up a couple different movies. I think he can actually do this. But then, surprise, Harrison Ford was given an interview, and the only thing I hate about this interview is a black woman was doing the interview for him, and she said, "How do you feel about working with the black Captain America?" and he was like, I think he's just Captain America. And I was like, Harrison Ford? Harrison Ford? He was like, no, he's just Captain America. He's not black. Captain America could be black, white, purple, green, blue. He's just Captain America. And I was like, I want to dislike you, Harrison Ford, but you put it in there. He was right on the money. Like, he's just Captain America. He's not the black Captain America. He's just Captain America. And I was like, touche, Harrison Ford. I hate that it was against a sister, but it made her look bad. But he stood up. He stood on business. He stood on business, and I was like, touche, Harrison Ford. Touche.
And I appreciate that because I understand where you're coming from. Because, like, part of us is like, okay, like Harrison Ford said, he's Captain America. Don't look at his race. Mm-hmm. But then on the flip side for us is like, we're happy to see a black man play the role.
True.
So we like to hear a black Captain America. That's something new for us because we've never seen it and we don't have superheroes on that level.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I see both sides of it. How you feel about that? But no, but shout out to Harrison Ford because Harrison Ford is 82.
Exactly. This old man can get it. Y'all can't.
People that's that old. Some of them have a different mindset. If you know what I mean. So shout out for Harrison Ford for stepping up. And so back what you said earlier, Anthony Mackie has been in about 67 movies.
Yeah, he's been doing this thing for a while.
So to say that he can't be a lead or hold a role, that's some BS.
Yeah,
because if he couldn't, he's been in 67 movies. He's been acting for a long time, a lot of movies.
Good minute.
But put some respect on that man's name.
Very much so. Very much so. Very much so. So we'll see in the next week how this movie performs. It's the start of the Marvel year, so it's gonna be. He's the first movie starting it off, so hopefully it starts off with a bang. I'm not expecting $1 billion. I just want as long as it's like a 600 to 700 million at the end of the run of the movie, I think that'd be successful. That'd be successful. Unfortunately, I think their budget is a lot higher. I think their budget is almost close to 200 million, I think. Because I know they did reshoots and stuff. So, but 6 to 7 in that range, I think it won't be considered a flop. Now, if it gets under like 5 to 6, then you start talking flop. But if it exceeds 8 and up, then that's hey. 7 to 8 is thumbs up. 7 to 8 if they could get up there, but it's going to be interesting to see. Yep.
All right. So, basketball news. I really didn't know which trade to start off with, but I mean, because it was a major trade. But I'm going to start off with this one first because we've been talking about this subject for the last few weeks. So I'm going to start off with the Jimmy Butler trade. Jimmy Butler finally got out of Miami.
Oh, okay.
In a multiple team trade, Jimmy Butler was traded to the Golden State Warriors. So Jimmy's going to Golden State. The Warriors traded Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, aka Slow Mo. That's his real nickname. A first round pick and some other players. Butler also signed a 2-year, $121 million extension with Golden State because Jimmy would have been a free agent this year. So by Golden State giving him signed a 2-year deal, that means he's locked in for the next 2 seasons. And so let me go into some details of who was traded. So Jimmy Butler is going to Golden State. The Miami Heat is getting Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker, and a first-round pick and next year's draft. Dennis Schroeder originally got traded to Utah, but now I heard that he got traded to Detroit now.
And that's
And
isn't he German or
yeah,
part German? Okay.
yeah. And
Okay.
then Pistons got Josh Richardson from Miami and Lindy Waiters the third. I don't know who that guy is. But if I remember correctly, Dennis Schroeder got traded like 3 times in the last few days
Oh,
or
that's got to
something
feel
crazy like
bad.
that. Which was crazy because he just had a quote where he compared to this was crazy. He compared the trading in the
Hmm.
NBA to slavery. He
Oh,
compared it. He was like, yeah, we work for these companies for these teams, and then they just trade us to a different place. It was like slavery. And then he ended up in the trade out of Golden State because he got traded to Golden State earlier this year. I can't remember what team he played for earlier this year, but he got traded to Golden State and then he just got traded again. But long story short, so yeah, Jimmy Butler is in Golden State. Um, Me myself personally, I still don't think this makes Golden State a contender in the West. I don't see them really making too much noise this year. Maybe next year they can find some pieces over the summer to put around Jimmy and Steph. Also, what makes it interesting is, low key, I kind of feel bad for Steph Curry because now he got to deal with Draymond Green, who's a head case. And even though I like Jimmy Butler, he's one of my favorite players, but you got to deal with Draymond and Jimmy. I feel slightly bad for Steph. I mean, I hope it works out because both of them guys has two strong personalities. And listen, Draymond already cursed out KD and got made KD leave Golden State. Then he punched Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole got traded from Golden State. And Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green both have very strong personalities and just say whatever's on their mind. So
true.
it's gonna be interesting how this plays out. I wish
But
him luck.
does isn't this a trade that like Jimmy is okay with going to the Warriors? Like
Yes, yeah, but
so.
but they need more pieces. They not gonna do it with just
Okay. Okay.
Draymond's not a scorer. He's an
True.
undersized power forward who can get rebounds and play defense, but like I said, he's a head case. You don't know if he's gonna get kicked out the game because he did something stupid or not. And
Very
then as
true.
Steph can't score all the points. Jimmy can score some points, but I mean he's not elite scorer. He can get you a bucket, but you don't
Hmm.
rely on Jimmy to like score you a whole lot. So they
Okay.
definitely gonna have to make some moves in the offseason to fill out their roster because they just gave up 3 players for Jimmy. So I mean they lost some depth. So yeah. And it's just not enough because Jokic is in the Jokic is in the West. They're not being Denver. We're gonna talk
Mhm.
about the Lakers and Dallas later, but I don't see them beating either of them two. And they're not beating Minnesota.
Okay.
So
So this doesn't really. So you think this is this rebuilding for them? But
they
how long is Jimmy's contract with them now?
2 years. They
2 years.
don't have time.
Okay.
It, uh, I wouldn't quite call it rebuild because rebuild is when you like break it up and start all the way over. You can't
Yeah.
start all the way over. Jimmy Butler's 35. Steph Curry's is in his mid 30s also, and Draymond. So they are in like a win now mode. So there,
Mm,
I feel like there's going to be some moves made in the summer with Golden State. Yeah, Steph Curry's 36. Jimmy's
okay.
35, and that's old for basketball players,
Yeah, they on their way out.
right? So And I think Golden State is sitting in number 11 right now in the West, so they're not even in the play-in tournament as of now. I think they can get up there, but even if they make it into the playoffs, they're not making any noise. I don't see them. I would be very surprised if they get out the first round.
Okay. 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 So, do you want to talk about the next trade, or you want me to do a story?
Uh, you do a story.
Okay. All right. So, um, I'm gonna try to explain this story as best I can. It's gonna be weird. So we know Superman's coming out. They already had a little snafu with the eye thing. Side note, on the eye thing, James Gunn got on Twitter, or no, he got on Threads and told everybody there's no CGI. That's that actor's real face. There was no CGI in that shot. So he wants to believe that guy can fly. He can't fly. But he's saying there's a fisheye lens, and when you get it close to people's face, their face changes. Whatever. You guys should fix that. This is your tentpole superhero movie starting off your new universe. Make sure he's not cockeyed. Fix that. And I apologize if that's a derogatory term for anyone. Make sure his eyes aren't looking the same way. Second, they also are not doing a Super Bowl ad in the Super Bowl for Superman, another trailer. They don't have any money. WB doesn't have money. Warner Brothers don't have money. They are doing a trailer on the Puppy Bowl, which is played on the WB. So technically, they don't have to pay for that. It's free. But I think that trailer is going to be more emphasized with crypto, showing more shots of crypto. The dog, Super Dog, which is kind of cool. People love dogs, so people might eat that up, but you're going to miss out on the biggest platform. The biggest thing in the world is the Super Bowl. There's eyes all over that, so they're going to look at that. But that's the thing. But back to the Superman issue they have now. Superman's getting sued. Yeah, Superman's getting sued. Yes. So the two guys that created Superman, Jerry Siegel and Joseph Shutter. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Those two guys created Superman. They sold it for a certain amount of money, but apparently, if you create a character and then when you die, the authors of their character 25 years later, the copyright on those characters die or something like that. So his estate, Joseph's estate, is suing WB for copyright of Superman in certain territories. Not in all the territories, but in certain territories. I think like in Britain, in Australia, and a few other territories to where they won't be able to release the movie in those territories without coming into an agreement. So realistically, they're gonna pay these guys or pay this guy's estate whatever they're asking, or come to a money is gonna change hands because that's their biggest superhero right now. They're gonna put this movie out. They've put trailers out. They've did all the press. They're gonna show this movie. They're not gonna not show this movie, and they kind of need the money too. So they're gonna do it. It just comes down to how much are they going to give this estate and pay off so this lawsuit goes away or pay the lawsuit out. But this is also more, I would say, bad press, but they say even bad press is good press. But this is not the press you want for your tentpole superhero movie coming out. You don't want this hanging over it. So that sucks for them. But this apparently a lot of different characters, their copyrights are coming up. I guess after 100 years, a character's copyright comes up and it puts it in free domain or public domain. I mean, so anybody can do things with that character. That's why. What is that movie? Jungle Book. That copyright's up. Jungle Book. The Winnie the Pooh copyright is up. That's why you had that Pooh horror movie. I guess Mickey Mouse, his copyright is coming up soon. And I think Batman's copyright is coming up soon, I think. Or Batman's in another 25 years or something like that. So that's news to me. I didn't know that's how copyright worked. I didn't know it had a certain longevity. I thought you could just renew it and just keep doing that. Because I know that's what Sony does with Spider-Man. They have the film rights to Spider-Man, but they have to make a film about Spider-Man after so many years, or if it goes right back to Marvel. So that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, so we will see what they do with the Superman suit, how they settle that. What do they do with it? I'm pretty sure they're gonna settle. So that probably happened in the next week or two, just to get that bad press out of the thing, because they're still gonna do these trailers for the next the Crypto Superdog. They're gonna have his trailer out so you can see him in action a little bit, see him flying or something. But it's just one thing after another with this movie. Hopefully, this is the last bit of bad press they get on the road to releasing this movie. Hopefully, everything is good. Hopefully, we get a new trailer with a better looking Superman with his eyes not crossed when he flies. But yeah, they having troubles, man. They having troubles.
That sounds like a mess over there. But yeah, also thanks for clearing that up, because going back to what you said of that Winnie the Pooh horror movie, when I first saw the trailer, like, who cleared this?
Yeah,
it doesn't seem right. Like, how did they do that? But now knowing that makes a lot of sense.
So that's how like fairy tales work too. That's why everybody was able to do like kind of a Cinderella story, do it differently. Hansel and Gretel, all those fairy tales, their copyright comes up and it becomes public domain, and then anybody can do a story on it. So that's how you get those different versions. That's why we have like 6 or 7 different versions of the Jungle Book. You got the Mowgli story. It's in public domain now, so anybody can do it. So that's crazy.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Got anything else to share on that?
No, you can hit me with another trade story. Let's just figure out who else is making moves out here.
Okay, I just want to go back to the first story I told. I forget this information. PJ Tucker, all right? He has been traded 3 times in the last 5 days.
Oh, dang.
February 1st, he got traded from the Clippers to the Utah Jazz. Then February 5th, he got traded from Utah Jazz to Miami Heat, which is a team he played for. After he played for Milwaukee, after they won the championship, I think that was 2020. Milwaukee Bucks won the championship. PJ Tucker was on that team. Then he signed with Miami Heat. So when he got traded back to Miami, he posted on Instagram a photo of the Undertaker sitting up out of a casket. So he was hyped. Just for the next day for him to be traded on February 6th from Miami up to Toronto. So good luck to PJ Tucker. Also, PJ Tucker is the shoe king in the NBA. That guy has lots of shoes. He got a lot of heat.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so, that's gotta feel bad when you think I landed somewhere good, and then bam, no, you over here now.
Nope. Very next day, tried to get traded.
Dang.
All right. So we gotta get to some would say the biggest trade in NBA history. It's definitely a trade that no one saw coming. It was the first domino for the trade, and we talking about Luka Doncic. The Dallas Mavericks traded Luka to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis. It ended up being a 3-team deal. It was the Lakers, Mavs, and Jazz, with Luka going to LA, Anthony Davis going to Dallas. Dallas initiated the trade motivated by acquiring a defensive center, because you got to compete with Denver and Jokic at some point in the playoffs if you're going to make a championship run.
Yeah.
The Lakers quickly approved the deal, and it was exciting to get Luka. which I understand. Both Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic were not informed prior to the trade announcement, so it caught both players by surprise. Spread like it caught everybody surprised that Luka got traded. Um, Luka wasn't happy about being traded. He had just bought a new house in Dallas,
Yeah,
and
that's wild.
also by Luka being traded, he lost the opportunity of signing a 345 million supermax deal this summer with Dallas because
Mm,
he's not going to be able to sign that with LA because he got traded. If he was still with Dallas, then he would have been able to sign that supermax deal.
mm.
Uh,
That's a lot
and
of money to miss out on.
and allegedly, the reason why the Mavs traded Luca was they were concerned about his conditioning issues and paying him that supermax contract. Uh, yeah, that trade that shook up the NBA. Everybody
Uh,
was like, hey, no, because I mean, if if you can name like five players in the NBA off the top of my head that you think was untradeable that would never get traded right now, it would be LeBron, Steph, Anthony Davis, Jokic, and actually that won't be it. Oh, and SGA down to Oklahoma. Like
mm,
no, because Luca's only 25. He's in his prime.
he is in
So
his prime.
so after when I first heard about the trade, I was shocked. But then after the initial shock wore off, I thought about it. So it makes sense. So by Dallas getting Anthony Davis, he can play the power forward spot, which is the spot he prefers. And then because they already have two centers in Daniel Grashford and Derek Lively.
Okay.
So Anthony Davis can play the four, which is where he's more comfortable playing. And then you got Kyrie at the point, and then they still help PJ Washington, who's a great piece. Still got Spencer Dinwiddie and Clay Thompson. And then on the flip side for LA, because in LA they always had a superstar. You talk about
Hmm.
Kareem, Magic, Shaq, Kobe, and now LeBron. So by getting Luca, they already have the next superstar that they don't have to go try and find after LeBron retires. So
True.
LA is building for the future because LeBron's going to retire eventually. And he doesn't have too many years left. You got Luca in his prime, so you can start building a team around Luca, and you already got a superstar that's going to put butts in the seats in LA. Hey, you got to have that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
he's definitely gonna
it-
put people in the seats.
yeah, Luca. Even Luca being fat, he was still killing people out there
Yeah.
on the court because Luca been playing professional basketball since he was like 13 or 14. Like
Jeez.
fat Luca still dropped 70 points on you. He had a 70-point game. Like Luca is nice. And fans protesting in Dallas. Um, there was rumors that Dallas were giving season ticket holders a refund.
Oh,
I know they
really?
did. I know they did it for at least for one fan because one fan was like, I don't want these tickets. You traded Luca. So I think they gave them that person a refund, which was valued at about $2,000. But yeah, fans in Dallas are protesting. They upset.
That's not a
Uh,
bad price. $2,000 for season tickets. That's not bad.
yeah. Well, that's because it's the second half of the season going
I
in
guess.
after the All Star break.
Okay.
Mark Cuban, everyone knows Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
He's not the majority owner of the Mavs anymore. I think he sold like 42% of his stake. So right now he's a majority owner. He was surprised by the trade too. Because like they said that Luka Trex, Mark Cuban like asked him what's going on. He's like, I have no idea. So yes, it was a
I
shock for
mean,
the whole league and all the NBA fans.
what do you think I get the Mavs are trying to not play Supermax, but this guy took you guys to the finals
just last year.
Just last year, and you trade that guy. That guy doesn't he have a day after him? I heard he has a day named after him.
He might, but okay. So I'm a Luka fan, but if I'm looking, I'm trying to think like Dallas Mavericks management. Okay, Luka did get them to the finals, but once they got to the finals, his defense was non-existent.
Yeah,
Like at
that's what
all.
I hear. He's not a
They were just
threat.
they was just running around and getting layups, and he's looking at his teammates. He's like, no, you gotta at least try. Like some plays is egregious. It's like he not even tried. Like they just right around him. I like that's crazy. So like I said, and the Mavs they're thinking about they in a win now mode.
Okay.
So it's the only time we tell of who actually won this trade, but Dallas is in a win now mode, and LA is setting up for their future.
Yeah, true, but this doesn't feel like a win now trade though. This feels like a scary moment trade. You know what I mean?
No. For Dallas, it is like I said, because Eddie Davis get to play the position he's more comfortable at the forward, because they still got two centers. Because they with the roster they have, it is definitely win now.
Yeah, but isn't Anthony Davis very injury prone?
Yes, but I would say this season he's been balling out, and he played.
Okay.
He played last season. I think he played majority of the games, but now when he was playing center in LA, which is not an excuse, I feel like you put him in the position he wants to be at. Maybe he doesn't get hurt as much because he don't have to go against the other guys, big man, because now he has two other guys that plays those positions on the same team.
Okay. So do you think him and Kyrie are going to play good together?
Oh, yes. I'm also a huge Kyrie fan, so I'm slightly biased. But yes, I think him and Kyrie will play well.
Okay. Now my last question, being that they clearly both were surprised by this trade, how does that mentally affect them playing? How, just out of your thought process, being that Luka clearly never thought he would get traded abruptly like this. Anthony Davis clearly thinks he's is the number 2 highest player on that team he was on. So he clearly didn't think about being up and traded. How do you think that mentally affects them continuing playing now?
I'm glad you asked that question. It's a great segue to my next point. So I will start off with Anthony Davis first. Okay. So he was the number 2 guy on LA, which LeBron was trying to get him to be the number 1, but he was the number 2 guy. He goes over to Dallas. He's still the number 2 guy. Kyrie's number 1. Okay, let's get that straight. He's still the number 2 guy, right?
How old is Kyrie? Kyrie's 30, right?
Let's see. Kyrie. There we go. Kyrie is. Why did not pop up right away? Give me 1 second.
I think he's like
Kyrie is 32. He's 32.
Okay.
Yeah. That's some of the best handles I've ever seen. But anyway, Kyrie's still number 1. I think Davis will be the number 2 guy. Because though he didn't think he would be traded, I think he's going to motivate Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that he will be the Anthony Davis that he was in New Orleans. In New Orleans, he was dominant, 20-10 guy. Because like I said, he's back to a position he's more comfortable at.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's motivating him, because it's like, oh, you trade me out of the blue, like no heads up. Oh, that's how you feel? Yeah, all right. And then on the flip side, Luka I think they're both gonna play with a chip on their shoulder, Anthony Davis and Luka. But I think Luka's chip on his shoulder is gonna be bigger than Anthony Davis because he was the franchise player in Dallas, the face of Dallas in his prime. And like you just trade me. Also, he's going to play with LeBron, who's LeBron said in the past that Luka is his favorite player. And LeBron at 40 is still playing basketball like he's in his early 30s.
Very
LeBron puts
true.
a lot into his body to get him ready to play the season as a 40-year-old.
Very
LeBron
true.
is going to show Luka the way. Luka is going to be a great basketball shape. Luka is going to get skinny. He's going to play with a big chip on his shoulder. And I think Dallas Mavericks just turned on another switch to Luka that we haven't seen. And like I said, Fat Luka dropped 70 is getting buckets. You get a slim Luka, motivated, working with LeBron because they're a fan of each other. And like I said, LeBron said Luka is his favorite player. The Lakers this year, not worried about them. But next year, with a full season with Luka and LeBron, they can potentially be a problem. They
Okay.
can be a problem. Also, the Lakers traded for I don't know who this guy is. They traded for a center out of Charlotte named Mark Williamson. I've never heard of this guy, but apparently he's pretty decent. So they traded Anthony Davis, but they got another big guy. Uh, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not familiar with his game. His name is Mark Williams, and this season he's averaging 15 and a half points, uh, 58% shooting, 2.2 and a half assists. So looks like he's decent. I'm just not familiar with his game because he plays for Charlotte. So, and that's I don't watch the Charlotte Hornets.
Mm, understandable.
Shout out to Lamelo Ball because he's fun and exciting. But uh, yeah. Oh, speaking of that trade, uh, LA made another second move. They traded Dalton Connect, which is their rookie, who's a really good shooter. Um, he was playing very well for the Lakers. He was actually surprised. But yeah, when they made this trade this morning, they traded Dalton Connect and Cam Reddish and a 2031 unprotected first round pick and a 2030 pick for Mark Williams. So
Mm,
um, I was watching another podcast earlier and they was making fun, said the reason that Dalton Connect got traded from LA is because he wouldn't pass Bronny the ball and he kept shooting. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, Connect he's a really good shooter. He's a good player. He played 4 years in college. So I was surprised that they traded. I thought he would be one of the people that actually count, but no such luck.
so in the end, this might. So clearly, the Lakers aren't in the win mode right now. Do you think
That
they
is,
are rebuilding since you got
yeah.
Luka, who is so young, who can still play, um, and then you can put more pieces around him? And how long before they have to pay him supermax? What is his deal right now with them?
Oh, Luka contract. Uh, so like I said, this summer he would have been eligible to sign a supermax with Dallas, but since he got traded, he's not eligible for a supermax. So I think Luka can sign a new deal this summer. And
Okay.
oh, please believe it, LA is gonna play Luka. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Uh, let's see, Luka. Oh, so let's see, 24, 25. Oh, Luka contract doesn't end till 26, 27 season.
Okay. So they're
Um,
definitely paying him.
Yeah. So yeah, Luka is signed through the 26-27 season with LA. He'll make he's still making a lot of money. The only thing that sucks is going from Texas to LA. The taxes in LA is way more than it is in Texas.
Yeah.
I don't think Texas has state taxes because yeah. So he's definitely be making less money in LA because state taxes is a lot higher. But yeah, I expect LA to be make some moves this summer to build around Luca and Brian.
Okay. Oh, okay. Who else? Didn't they? So they, you said they traded AD. Um,
Uh,
one
so
other person, and then
Luca,
a first round pick.
yeah. So I think Luca AD was a straight up trade because you getting a good player for a good player, which
Okay.
rarely happens because usually you trade a good player, you get a bunch of draft picks and some role players. It's very rare you trade a good player for a good player.
Okay.
So yeah.
Mm.
So that's all I have on that topic. And then the next topic, we're going to talk about all the other trades.
Oh, there's still even more trades. Oh Jesus,
Oh yeah,
I didn't even
oh
know
yeah,
there's more trades.
oh
Okay,
yeah.
let me go ahead and hit my topic. So, Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show has come out. They have 5 episodes out so far. Like I told you guys last time, they're pumping these episodes out fast. They're coming out 2 every Wednesday. I think they dropped 3 this Wednesday actually. But I've watched it. I'm gonna give you a quick review of how I feel about the show, and then I'm gonna talk a little spoilers. I'll let you know before I get into spoiler stuff. But here's a quick review. I really like the show. I think it's really good. You get used to the animation. The animation isn't as great as X-Men 97. When they do action, that animation is top tier. The Spider-Man show is not on that level of animation, but it's still good. The story's good. The characters are fun. It's interesting. It's corny, but still fun. It's a different story altogether. The way they're telling it, the things they're doing. The first episode started out crazy. It was really good. Um, I'm locked in. I'm watching it. When it comes out, I'm watching it. When every episode comes out, I'm watching it. So yeah, it is so far a really good show. I really dig it. I'm having fun with it. It feels like a whole new Spider-Man story, even though it is a normal Spider-Man story. They've done some really inventive things in it that changed the look of it, changed the feel of it. It's just really good, 100% good. Definitely recommend people watch it. So we're going to get into a little bit of spoilers about it. So some spoilers. So if you don't want to hear this, go forward maybe 5-10 minutes. So they are telling a story in such a unique way that they're using other Marvel characters that are not normally in Spider-Man's world, and they're using a character from Runaway, Nico. I don't know her that well, but she's Spider-Man's best friend, and she is from a whole different sector of the Marvel universe. I don't even know if her and Spider-Man ever talked before necessarily. Could be wrong because I don't read a lot of comic books. Read a couple, but not a lot of them. I'm more of a cartoon guy. But she's his best friend. Their dynamic is really good. They brought Tombstone in. Tombstone is a student with Peter Parker, so they aged him down to Peter Parker's age, and he's in high school. But he's super intelligent. And if you know, Tombstone is a black character. I guess this is before he has his accident and becomes full Tombstone, but you see the progression of him getting pushed into gang life. He's a star quarterback, but he has siblings that get involved with the gang to try to get them out the gang. He tells the gang, take me instead of my siblings. So now he's trying to balance school, football, and this gang life that he's unfortunately been pushed into. And you see him start to change, and it's very inner city kid between a rock and a hard place, trying to do right by himself and his family, but the streets get a hold of him, and it's something I never thought I would see in Spider-Man, which is really cool, and the story's told really well too. Spider-Man is actually working with Norman Osborn, and Norman finds out he's Spider-Man, is helping him be Spider-Man, helping him get the costume, helping him like fight, and like, I feel that you can be the best hero you can be, and I want to help you do that. Mostly because he saved Norman's son, Harry, but also he does believe in Peter. So that's really interesting to see that. Harry is also helping Spider-Man because he found out who Spider-Man is. Now Harry is Spider-Man's man in the desk, so he's out there helping him how to, hey, the guys over here, go over here. It's really, really good. There's other characters in there because I don't know all the Marvel characters. I'm gonna watch this one guy does YouTube videos on it each episode, and he kind of lets you know who this character. I'm gonna watch that to get a little more information on it. But there's like, I forgot her name. Dang it. Oh, the guy that becomes the Hulk, Amadeus Cho, he's in there. There's a lady from Wakanda who is somebody, but I'm not sure who she is. She's in there. The Lizard, Dr. Connors, is actually a woman in this. I think she's a Mexican woman. So people are upset about that, but it works. It's good. They change the sex and race of that character, but it still works. It's still telling the same story. They just introduced Dr. Octopus, who has been giving villains superpowers through like technology he's made. So they kind of introduced the Rhino, I believe, but not fully. So it's so good. It's so good. You definitely got to check it out. I'm missing half of the first episode had Doctor Strange in it, and he fought a symbiote, and we see how Spider-Man gets bit by the spider that I believe comes from a different dimension, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Iron Man is in it. But they showed Iron Man, a picture of Iron Man, but they didn't really show Iron Man. The COVID Accord is going on. There's homages to the MCU. It's so good. It's so good. It's really good. Is it as good as X-Men 97? Because at this point, this is where we're going to be basing most of Disney animation now, is that X-Men 97, because that was amazing. That was amazing. It's not to that level, but it holds a special place in my heart because I love Spider-Man. So I love seeing him be reinvented. He tries multiple different costumes on and try to be a superhero in so many different costumes that Osborn is creating for him. That's crazy. That's a crazy episode in itself. It's just really good. It's really good. It's touching. It's got a good story. The character development is really good. You just got to check it out. At least watch the first two episodes. If you don't like it after that, I understand. But this could be something really good. And now I see why they greenlit a second season and possibly a third season already. It is phenomenal to watch. 100%. You got any questions, Marcus?
Does this Spider-Man have on Jordan 1s, or does he have on the
He doesn't have on Jordan 1s.
I'm not watching it.
He doesn't have Jordan 1s.
I was upset. I was upset when they made the switch. I was like,
technically, they didn't make the switch. He's technically another dimension Spider-Man. So whatever happens here, they can write it off as this is a different dimension. So that's fine in itself.
Jordan's dope in any dimension.
I don't even know if Jordans exist in this dimension, so that could be a problem.
They exist in all dimensions, Sammy. It's dope. It's part of the culture.
So
we could put all that other stuff in the cartoon. Why we ain't in Jordans? Come on,
understandable.
Come on, man.
I understand.
But no, it sounds like there's a lot going on in this show.
It's a lot. And there's 30-minute episodes. They got 5 episodes out right now. I think they're doing 12. I could be just pulling a number out the air and hoping for it. But I know they're supposed to be like, I think it's supposed to be over in 2 months. So if they're dropping 2 episodes a week, probably 12. Somewhere around there.
What platform can I find
it's on Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus. So definitely check it out. So go ahead.
Is there like do they drop these episodes on a certain day?
So yes. Okay. They drop it Wednesdays. Okay. Technically for us it's 3 a.m. Mm-hmm. Wednesday morning, which would be midnight, or maybe it's 2 a.m. Because it's like midnight in LA. Okay. So
they like
Wednesday midnight would be 2 a.m. for us. So they drop them every Wednesday. So I watched 2 of them yesterday, and I didn't realize they had dropped. I think they dropped 3, so I watched another one about 2 hours ago. It's such a good show. It's good. It's really good. I dig it. The only downside is the dude that voices Spider-Man. Before the show came out, this dude, I'm not even gonna say his name because it was a dumb thing to do. He did an interview where he told Collider, I think it is, he told them like he was worried that the show was gonna be annoying and woke.
Oh,
and I'm like, why would you do that for a show that hasn't come out, that you're on, that you should be trying to promote positively? Why would you use those words? You know, woke is a fire starter word now for people thinking everything is, which isn't even what the word used to be, which sucks. It's so bad. But I'm like, why would you do this to your show before it premieres?
Yeah, that was dumb. I now understand why you had that big sigh before you said it.
It was so upsetting.
It was a big sigh, and you sounded very disappointed even before you said anything you said.
It's so, because you might have pushed people away that would love this show because you decided to say something stupid to try to get ahead of something that wasn't even there. That you heard maybe internet people saying from the trailer, like, why is Harry black and all this? It's just a different telling of the story. Let it go. This is not the defining Spider-Man story. It's a different Spider-Man story, and it's good. Just enjoy for what it is. Like, you read Elseworld comic books, but you can't watch Elseworld cartoon shows? Come on.
That's one thing I never understand, why people get so up in arms about fictional characters. They're fictional. They can be any thing they want to be, any race, color, creed. It doesn't matter.
Very true.
If you like the superhero, you like the character for who they are and what they do. They put too much behind.
Like them for the essence of that character. But unfortunately, people get upset about real life people too, because a lot of women are upset with Beyonce winning country album of the year, and then album of the year too, didn't she? So she won. Did she win 2 or 1?
It was at the basketball game when the Grammys was on.
Yeah, I think she won album of the year and country album of the year. So they upset about that, saying she ain't country. It was like, oh, you mean this woman from the South who
from
did nothing
Texas.
but grow up in country music.
Yeah,
You mean the country music invented by black people? Yeah, that she can't be a part of
that
that. Okay, cool.
that part, that
You
part.
mean the
They
country y'all let what's that dude? Um what's the dude with all the tattoos that used to rap and now he sing country only? Post Malone. Yeah. He country though? Yeah. Now he just full country. He used to do
I
rap
don't
songs. Now he just
I
full
don't
country.
I don't acknowledge him.
Exactly. He came over
Only
here, hung out with us, got popular, and then left and act like he didn't know what rap was or hip hop. Yeah.
right shit it on rap. No, I don't like
Exactly. The
him.
thing that
I
made
can't
you a
stand him.
name, now all of a sudden you don't
Yeah,
know what it is.
yeah.
So yeah.
I
So
don't like that guy.
hopefully the voice actor doesn't get picked up for season 2 and we get a different voice actor. I'm totally fine with changing his voice actor. Because you didn't believe in the show, so why should you be a part of its success? You shouldn't be involved in it anymore.
Agreed.
I'm not saying people should lose their jobs, but when you do stupid stuff, deal with the consequences of your actions. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, in my opinion, go check out the show. If you like Spider-Man, if you like character development, a good story, and you want to see a different type of Spider-Man story, go watch it. It's really good. It's really good.
Disney Plus on Wednesdays.
Disney Plus Wednesdays. There's 5 episodes out now, so you could binge those 5 and get ready for next Wednesday.
What's the name of it again?
The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
All right. Okay. Now we
Definitely
got to
good.
say it for, we got to say it for the people in the back. Make sure they get
Yeah.
on the information. Go support the show, people.
Definitely.
Support us too. Like,
Yeah.
subscribe, share, everything. Like
Hit
the
all the
show.
buttons.
Get all the buttons. Put us everywhere. Put us everywhere. All right. So more basketball news. So speaking of the Milwaukee Bucks, they did Chris Middleton dirty, in my opinion. They traded Chris Middleton to the Washington Wizards for Kyle Kuzma. I'm not I'm not a fan of this trade. I know Chris Middleton has been hurt a lot these last few years, but this man helped y'all win a championship, and y'all sent him to Washington for Kyle Kuzma. I just watched this man Kyle Kuzma shoot like 3 air balls, shooting 3-pointers last week. Maybe he can get back and play like he played when he was with the Lakers. Because since he's been in Washington, he'll have here and there moments when he's playing well. But for the most part, he has not been playing well in Washington. I will say the good thing is Kyle Kuzma is younger. Kyle Kuzma is 29. So that brings some youth, and he's athletic, which can help Milwaukee on the defensive end because defense has been their Achilles heels. But I just don't like that they sent Chris Middleton to Washington. I felt like that was really dirty.
Yeah, Chris was doing really well in the game we watched.
Yeah, that's what so be it. I mean, they made a move, so shout out to Chris Middleton and shout out to Kyle Kuzma, I guess. Also, another trade. This was a kind of a big deal. San Antonio Spurs, Sacramento Kings, and Chicago Bulls made a 3-team deal. The major name in this deal is De'Aaron Fox, who was the point guard in Sacramento. He got traded to San Antonio, so now he'll play with Wemby. I think those two is going to be a dynamic duo for years to come because De'Aaron Fox is very shifty, very quick. He's a lefty also. He can shoot, he can drive, he can pass. So that would be a good 1-2 punch for San Antonio. They build around those 2 young guys and be looked at on San Antonio because they will be a force in years to come. Sacramento got Zach LaVine from Chicago. Zach LaVine is playing with DeMar DeRozan again in Sacramento. Those of you who don't know, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan had both played for the Chicago Bulls for the last 2 years before the season started, 2-3 years. So we'll see how that plans out in Sacramento. I mean, it didn't work that well here. And then the Bulls, they pretty much got nothing. They got Zach Collins, role player, Trey Jones, Kevin Herter. He's a good 3-point shooter. The Bulls can use that, but they take too many threes, in my opinion, right now. It's hard for me to watch my Bulls play. They're not good at all. It's actually kind of deflating to watch them. It's not good for my health or my blood pressure. So yeah, that was another trade. Let's see.
Yeah, why would they get Kyle Kuzma?
I don't know. Like I said, he's young. He's 29. He's athletic. And like I said, Chris Middleton has been hurt a lot in recent years. So, he put him with Doc and with Giannis. Hopefully, he gets his stuff together and play some good basketball. It could turn out to be a tremendous move. Only time will tell.
But does that help you make a championship run? Like, are they trying to make a championship run? Are they trying to set up pieces?
Oh, no, they definitely trying to make a championship run because recently Giannis said that he's happy. He want all European players and big markets. He said he wants Jokic in New York. He's happy Luka is in LA. And he just wants European players in big markets. Okay. Now, I say that to say this. Right now, Giannis is playing for the great value city of Chicago. Milwaukee is Chicago's little brother. It tries to be the big brother, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
I said that he's saying he wants Europeans at big markets. Giannis was originally from Africa, but he grew up in Greece. Mm-hmm. Giannis, come down to Chicago. It's just right down the road, my guy.
I don't think he gonna go to Chicago.
Listen. Hear me out. It's a big market. It's the third biggest market in the entire U.S. It's the third largest city, right? Understandable. Milwaukee just right up the street. He'll still be close to family because family means a lot to Giannis. They right up the street. Milwaukee ain't that far from Chicago. I'm like, you're in a great value city. Why settle for the fake? No disrespect to Milwaukee. Why settle for the great value version of Chicago when you can have the real thing and it's right down the street?
True.
Giannis, come on down to Chicago. Big market. Big market.
I think you're being very.
I'm not being biased. Nope, not at all.
Because he would be a great piece for you in Chicago to get y'all back over that hump.
And it will be Giannis Chicago. Hopefully, it would attract other big name players or good players that want to come down there and play. Because going back to what I was saying about Luka and LeBron in LA, and I said this summer I think they're gonna make some moves because one, they're in LA, great market, it's warm in LA, and then you get to play with Luka and LeBron. So I think they're gonna attract some good players this summer, this offseason. But yeah, I think Giannis should go ahead, go come down and play in Chicago, my guy.
So for me, Giannis is not going to Chicago. We can let that go. But
no, I'm not letting it go.
I think Milwaukee has a bigger issue. I'm not super sports guy, so you could let me know if I'm wrong on this. They have a bigger issue with Dame. Is he not been playing good?
He has not been playing like he did in Portland. So last year he had a lot of personal issues. He was going through a divorce. and
Okay.
everything. So that, and then with his kids. So this year, he said you're going to see a different Dame this year. So far, I don't get to watch many Bucks games. Uh, he's been playing okay, but still not the Dame we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Um, but in my opinion, Milwaukee is on the clock because to keep Giannis happy, you gotta put a good team around him and win. And with him saying that, making that comment, and I could be reaching, go gadget arms, could be reaching, but with him saying he wants to see European players in big markets, if I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan or a Milwaukee organization, that's ringing some bells for me. Like we need to get some better team around here, or we need to go figure out how we get deep in the playoffs to keep Giannis around.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Giannis leaves Milwaukee, then Milwaukee they're done. 'Cause no one is saying I want to. You know what? I want to go play in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I want to be up in Wisconsin for those winter months when it's cold. That wind come off the lake.
Oh
And
yeah.
I
But this,
and I
the
know
same thing with
and
Chicago.
I was just about to say I know you said that's the same thing in Chicago. It is, but it's not. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Chicago, and when I say this, I'm not being biased. Chicago is the greatest city in the world. We got good food. There's a nightlife. If that's what you choose to do, we got a lot of things
We
going on
know
in this city.
he ain't going out at night.
No, we know that, but I mean, we got a lot going on in the city. I mean, Milwaukee. What you gonna do in Milwaukee? You go to work, you go home. What you gonna do? You go to Culver's, Chick-fil-A. I mean, come on, Jeff T said he won the championship and then drove back to Indiana and
he
party.
did. He
Come
did
on,
say that. He
come
did say that.
on.
He did.
They win in Chicago. They win it in Chicago. In Chicago, you gotta leave the city. Everything's there.
True.
Everybody's
True.
coming to you. Nobody coming to Milwaukee, man. I'm
True.
just saying.
Okay. Okay.
Not being biased either. Everything I say is true.
All right. All right. All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Here's gonna be my last superhero story for the night. Just because we're at an hour now, so we're hitting you with a lot of pod. So this enough should tell you guys over for until next week. But as some of you guys know, the Fantastic Four had a trailer, and it was pretty decent. It was pretty decent. So I watched the trailer. If you don't know who the Fantastic Four is the first actually family of Marvel, as they like to be called. It's Reed Richard, Sue Richard, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm, aka is he? He's not Plastic Man. Elastic Man? Is he? Is he? Is this Elastic Man? I think he's Elastic Man. Invisible Woman, the Torch, and the Thing. Those are their superhero names. So they had their first trailer come out, which we thought we had to wait until the Super Bowl, but they put it out sooner than that, and it's very much 50s, 60s throwback looking. It seems like it's in that time period. The trailer was kind of good. It was kind of good. I like this trailer more than I like the Superman trailer, and I'm more of a Superman fan than I am the Fantastic Four fan. But this is the second iteration of the technically the third iteration of the Fantastic Four on live action. They had a movie way back in the day that never really was released. The studio that made it had to make it to keep the rights for the Fantastic Four. Like we talked about Spider-Man, if you don't make a movie in a certain amount of time, you lose the rights. They had to make a movie. They made a movie. They never released it, but they made the movie, so they kept the rights for a little longer. Finally, somebody put that up on YouTube, and it's a crazy, crazy movie. Not great. But then Fox made their Fantastic Four movie because they got the rights and they made their Fantastic Four movie. They made two of them. Oh wait, this is the fourth iteration of Fantastic Four. Four, four, four. Four's in the house. So yeah, this is actually the fourth. I forgot that Fox made another Fantastic Four movie, rebooted it with what's the name? What's the dude name that is in Creed that boxes?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. He was in the third iteration of the Fantastic Four. So the second iteration of Fantastic Four actually has Chris Evans, who is now Captain America or was Captain America. If you watch Deadpool versus Wolverine, you'll see him in that movie as Johnny Storm from that second iteration of Fantastic Four. But getting back to the trailer is really good. We see, we kind of see the origins of how they become the Fantastic Four. We see their Fantastic car, which they've had in the second generation of the Fantastic Four live action movie, but this one's more in the 50s, 60s camp. So I think this is gonna do good. I kind of wish this was the first Marvel movie releasing this year instead of Captain America 4, because I think this would have been a better start off for Marvel this year with that movie. But it is what it is. But I'm really excited to see. I don't know I know some of the people that are playing the Fantastic Four. So Reed Richards is played by Pedro Pascal. Johnny Storm is paid by the guy that was in what is that movie that just came out? Oh, dang it. I don't know that guy's name, but it's the movie where you make a sound and the monsters kill you.
Quiet?
It's not the name. That's it. You got to be quiet, but I don't think that's the name of the movie.
I swear, Quiet Place.
Is it the Quiet Place?
Quiet Place. I think it's the Quiet Place.
It's a Quiet Place, but it's like the first days of the Quiet Place or something like that with the lady from Wakanda, from Black Panther 1. What's her name? She was in 12 Years a Slave.
Oh shoot! I know you talking
about Napita.
I know you talking about.
I can't remember her name. Y'all. I know y'all yelling at me in the comments like this woman name, but it's a movie. He was in that movie with her. The Thing is a dude from the I'm butchering this. But you guys know who those characters are. I don't know who Sue Storm. I don't know who her, but she was in one of the Fast X movies. The one where The Rock did a spinoff with Jason Statham. So I know I've seen these people in movies before. They're the Fantastic Four. They look okay. There was a few things in the trailer. The way he looks very comics accurate. He's got real little eyes. His rocks looks interesting. I don't know if it's a full CGI look or not. I don't know if it's practical, but it's an interesting look. But his voice is the actor's voice. They don't seem to use any voice modulator to make it deeper, because it coming from that rock, you would think it'd have like a cave-like sound coming out of it, like you're talking out of a cave. So I think they still have time to change that. So I think they will change that. I'm not sure because people are complaining about it already. I think they should change it. I don't remember seeing. I seen Johnny catch on fire. The flames looked okay. I seen Sue went invisible. That looked okay. I don't remember Fantastic Reed stretching. I don't remember that per se. So that might look, but you can do stretching pretty easily. So I'm not too stuck on that. But it does look good. I am interested in seeing it. Um, I think it's gonna do better than Superman. I know that's weird to say because Superman is such a well-known superhero, but I don't think everybody's gonna like this Superman. I don't think they're gonna like the way James Gunn is doing it because it seems like that Superman movie is so there's so many different characters compacted into that movie where it seems like it's gonna lose the essence of Superman. This one seems like it's more focused on the Fantastic Four and their life and what they're doing, which is the characters you want to go see. So we'll see. We got months before either one of these movies comes out. But the good thing is they actually going to be coming out in the same month. So they're going to go head to head with each other. Fantastic Four comes out 2 weeks after Superman comes out. So they're going to get compared to each other. So we'll see who wins in the box office. There's also one other thing. The posters for the Fantastic Four came out as well, and people are accusing Marvel of using AI to make these posters, which really sucks. I hope they haven't, but people are pointing out like some of the characters have only 3 fingers or 4 fingers, and then there's face duplicates, and then there's little subtle things that AI does that you can see in pictures. And if they're using AI, that means they're using technology that have stolen other artists' works and mixed it together, which sucks. And you're a big enough studio, you can pay an artist to make these posters. And this wouldn't be the first time Marvel has used AI. They use it on Secret Wars for end credits. They use it on something else for a scene. And now if you got caught using posters, people are going to really, really be upset about this. So hopefully they come out and be like, I know they've come out and said it's not AI, but people are pointing out too many things that be like, this is AI. So hopefully they just like, you know what? Yeah, we did that. We're going to scrap these posters and we're going to make new posters. We're going to get artists. We're going to get multiple artists and pay them to do work for us to make sure we keep this alive, paying these artists and doing this work because it's important. But yeah, I'm kind of digging the Fantastic Four. I'm kind of excited to see it. There'll probably be 2 more trailers before the movie comes out. Unfortunately, hopefully they don't spoil too much because you know they get real spoily in trailers. But Marvel does a pretty good job, so only time will tell. But yeah, Fantastic Four. Let me know what you guys think about it. Are you excited about it? Did you like the trailer? You didn't like the trailer? We'll probably have a little more extended trailer at the Super Bowl, but they actually showed like a teaser trailer for like a 20-second trailer, and then hit you with the minute trailer later this week. Or earlier this week. So that was a surprise. I was super surprised when they did that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Mark, you got any questions about the Fantastic Four that I might be able to answer?
I do not. I saw it. I didn't watch the trailer, and then I was like, "Oh, what was Michael B. Jordan in Fantastic Four?" And then yeah.
Oh, people were so upset when Michael B. Jordan was the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four movie. They were like, why is so? Because they made Sue and Johnny Storm are brother and sister. So when they made him black and she stayed white, people were like, what's going on? But then they made their dad black. So it made people really good. So now they were like, oh, she's adopted. And it was people were so upset. They were so upset. Michael B. Jordan said he got like death threats for being Johnny Storm. That's how crazy people went with it. And it's like, y'all doing too much, man. It's just a movie. These are actors that got paid to do these roles. Calm down. Relax, my people. Oh wow. It was crazy. Because nerds get crazy, unfortunately.
I see, man.
Yeah.
Different breed.
They do be wilding. They do be wilding.
Oh, so I just got one more topic before we close the show.
All right.
Okay. So For those of you who don't know, the Super Bowl is this Sunday, uh, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. No, 5:30 our time Central on Fox. For those of you who don't know, big game. Sammy, who you taking? Philly or Kansas
I'm
City?
I'm I'm a toss up. I want the Chiefs to win, but I also want the Eagles to win because I want Saquon to win a ring just to rub it in the Giants' face.
Yeah.
Um, and the Eagles can get their lick back because they got beat by the Chiefs. But then I also want the Chiefs to do a three-peat. I want Mahomes to go down and actually be start talk about being the GOAT because he did something nobody's ever done. That would be
Yeah.
amazing. So I'm but then I kind of don't want Travis Kelsey to win because he said that stupid stuff about Trump. Like this man was talking about your girl, and you gonna be like, "It's an honor to have him here." No, my guy, fuck that, fuck him,
Oh,
fuck him.
oh, I didn't even see that. Oh,
Yeah, they asked him like, "How do you feel about the president coming?" And blah, and they asked him because he was talking about his girl like that. He was like, "I hate Taylor Swift and all this." Like this
right,
man did it publicly. You don't.
right.
I get it. You in media day, you got media training, but you be like, "Hey, I respect the presidency, but fuck that guy. I respect the presidency, but fuck him as a man because you don't say that about another man's woman."
Hey, I tell you what. Uh, if Travis Kelsey was still dating that black woman, and Trump was talking about that black woman like that, and then Travis Kelsey
He was
said
saying
that,
something.
boy, he might not make it to the Super Bowl.
You gonna let that orange man talk about me?
He
She'd have
might
beat
not
him
make it.
up.
He gonna be injured. He gonna be injured for the big game. But okay, for me, I really don't care. I'll watch the game. I'm not rooting for anybody. Actually, I take it back. I am rooting for somebody, but it has nothing to do with the two football teams. I'm rooting for my guy Kendrick Lamar to throw a crazy halftime show. Okay, Drake want to be walking around in Australia with bullet holes and his hoodie with smoke coming out the back. Hey, come on, man, get out of here. Yeah, I want Kendrick to put on a great show. I'm excited to see his performance, who he's going to bring out with him, and what songs he's going to perform. So I'm looking forward to that. But all that is about to come full circle. So now I want to talk about the Super Bowl quickly. So this Sunday at the Super Bowl, I don't know if you noticed, but since 2020, the NFL have had messages at the end of the end zone with different phrases.
Oh yeah, I heard
Uh,
about this. I didn't even know that they did that. I've
yeah,
never
it's
acknowledged or paid attention to it.
it's on it's messages at the back of the end zone and on the back of the players' helmets. So this Sunday, the NFL will replace "end racism" with "choose love" in the Super Bowl end zone.
That's
It's
wow.
following this follows a season of using various pro diversity slogans. The change is attributed to recent national tragedies, and the NFL commissioner maintains the league's diversity initiatives comply with current and past administration policies. The wild thing about it was the day that the NFL announced that racism would not be on the back of the end zone was the same day that Trump said he will be attending the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then this Sunday's game is the first Super Bowl since February of 2021, at which end racism would not be in the end zone schnitzel. So how do you feel about that, Sammy?
It feels like they're pandering to Trump.
Agreed.
Um, it feels and like I can't fault them, but I can because you're more than a business. Um, you're more than a business. This is clearly a business decision you're making. You already got so many of your regular fans saying they're going to protest you because you feel the Chiefs are being led to victory and you guys are rigged.
They're not protesting. And they're just saying that for social
I
media.
know, I know, I know,
They still gonna watch it to see if they lose.
I know.
Stop the
But
cap.
for you to go out your way and do this, it's not great. It's not great. Like you could have still kept that tradition alive, but chose your words differently. You 100% could have chose your words differently, um, but you still could have did that public announcement in that end zone. It's
I
but now
I
now
feel
you got to see if players will do something. Um, because this man has been doing a lot of crazy stuff.
yes.
Some for just show, some just for shock value. So it's like, what do? You want to take a stand, and you're on the biggest platform. And once you take that stand, it ain't like they can be like, "Oh, you can't play this game no more." No, no, we good. I can still play this. Uh,
Here's the thing. It's been in the back of the end zone for several years, right?
Very true.
So you're not worried about okay, because you'll have these fans that say, okay, good, they took out in racism. Oh, I'll watch the NFL. It's been in the back of the end zone for several years, and you still have millions of people watching the game when it's still there. What? Why does it matter now? People are going to still watch the Super Bowl, even though you still have end racism stencil in the back of the end zone.
Hmm.
I agree they did this to appease Trump and this whole DI situation because it's ridiculous. I mean, this is not a political show, but after the plane crash, uh, God bless everybody that was in that plane crash with the helicopter and their families. But as soon as that happened, he immediately got on TV and blamed it on DEI.
Yeah,
Like, like
not knowing the
not
race
knowing
of
any of the facts,
anybody
or right? Like, how do you
or
get on
sex or any of that.
national television just throw that out there? Uh, me, I don't like it, but I'll be lying to you and say that I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl because they don't have any racism at the end of it. Because whether I'm watching at home or I'm at someone else's house, regardless, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl, even if I'm just watching it to see the halftime show. I'm still going to end up watching some part of it. So I don't like it, but it it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I'm going to end this on this end this topic on his last note. I was right. Uh, Josh Allen won the MVP in the NFL.
Oh,
It
did
was
he? I thought.
it was a close race. I think what I saw was Josh Allen had 27 votes and Lamar Jackson had 23. But Josh Allen is the NFL MVP.
Oh, okay.
And I know that was a subtle switch, but we got in this podcast soon.
Oh, this is
We
his
got that.
first MVP, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Mm.
So yeah,
Mm.
we can dive into that a little bit more next episode.
Yeah, yeah, he won. So congrats, Josh. Congrats, Josh. I know him and Lamar said they weren't going to the All
Super Bowl.
Star,
Oh,
the
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was this week. I didn't watch
yeah.
it.
It seemed like it was terrible. It seemed like they
I
were
don't.
doing nothing spectacular at it.
It's hard to do a Pro Bowl for NFL because NFL games because it's like tackling
Yeah,
the
you don't
bottom
want to
line of
hit
the
each other.
sport. All right, the bottom line of the sport is to tackle rough. I mean, I know they do some type of flag football. I don't know if they still do it. I know they did that in the past, but I've
Yeah, I think they
never,
did flag. I think they did flag this year.
I haven't watched a Pro Bowl since I was a kid.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Very much understandable. All right. Well, guys, that is the podcast. Thank you for listening. watching on YouTube, all the good stuff. Make sure you hit the subscribe, follow, like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend, and then hopefully that friend tells another friend to come check out the podcast, listen to us. Hopefully every Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, and on the rare occasions we're super late, Friday. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. Like I said, we were working on getting the phone number so you can call, leave voicemails if you want. But you always can leave us emails. Send. We got to make an email. I'm working on that. But yeah, make sure you go hit all our social medias. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, apps, Threads, X, all the good stuff. But we appreciate you guys listening and hanging out with us. And as always, have a good weekend. All right. Peace.
Peace.